Welcome to chapter 9 of... Whoa. I meant to do the other one. Chapter 9 of Memoirs of a White Guy. That is the worst start ever, but I'm leaving it in. So, and a loud start too. I apologize for ruining your eardrums early. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here. And as you might have seen during the week, my megaphone went viral. It wasn't me. It was definitely the megaphone. So that was cool. So what happened was I thought of this exam video if you haven't seen it. And I thought of it like I was filming another video that never got uploaded because it wasn't that good. And it was another video about exams. And then I was trying to make that one better and refilming bits of it. And then I thought of like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if you could talk during exams? And then like 30 minutes later, I was editing the video. And then I uploaded it quickly and then went straight to work. And then I uploaded it after I came home from work and then rushed off to a gig. And so I didn't look at it. And then I didn't look at it for like an hour. Then I turned on my phone again when I got to the gig. And it was already on like 800 to 1,000 likes, which is crazy for like the amount of likes, the stuff usually gets. And man, I was so thankful. Like everyone just I don't know, related somehow to that vid because a lot of people are doing exams. It's pretty cool. But it's so stupid though. The ones you spend like half an hour on or 20 minutes on go nuts. And then I'll spend like 5 hours like roasting a 13-year-old online and, it gets like 500 views. But it's cool though. And I appreciate everyone who's gone through and watched all the other videos. So that's cool. I'm happy that happened. What else has been going on? Oh, this is even better news than that. Yesterday, I saw the fattest bird I've ever seen in my entire life. People from the UK are like, oh, you can't say that. No, like I saw a fat pigeon, like an animal, right? And I went into my boss, and because I was so excited, I just had to tell someone. And I was like, oh, I ran inside, and I was like to my boss, man, I just saw the fattest bird ever. And he's like, oh, you can't speak to customers like that. And I'm like, what? No, like a pigeon. And he's like, oh. And then I've told like 10 people since, and everyone's like, well, so why didn't you get a photo? I'm like, well, it sounds unbelievable, but it flew away. I don't know how it flew. So what happened was, I was just walking past, minding my own business, and then I looked up at this fence, and there was a bird sitting on it, and then I kind of like looked away, then I second looked it, and was like, whoa, that bird is fucking enormous. And so I walked up to it, and like if this bird was a human, it is just the rudest thing ever what I did. I walked up to it from a meter away, stared it directly in the eye, and then just lost my shit laughing at the bird. And then the bird just like looked at me for a bit, and then I went to get out my phone. I started to get out my phone to take a photo, and then the bird just like, it didn't fly away. It kind of like rolled off the fence and then like flapped, like, how ducks like that they hover like flapping along the ground. So it was like trying to run, but it couldn't even like take flight. So it was like, it kind of flew away, and then it took like a good 20 meters of run up, and then a big gust of wind came, and like it finally got off the ground. So yeah, I couldn't take a photo of it. So I'm pretty disappointed, but you got to trust me on this one. It was a fat as shit bird, and it was very funny. Like, I don't know how birds get that fat. And you know what's funny about it? This is not interesting to anyone, a fat bird story, but I'll wrap it up soon. But you know what's interesting about that? Is that when you see like a fat pet, it's really sad because it's like, oh, it's the owner's fault because they've overfed it. But when you see a fat animal out in the wild, it's the bird's fault. It's just eating too many chips on the ground. I'm like, this is your fault. You've done this to yourself. It's hilarious. So it's just like a bird with diabetes and chronic obesity. You don't often see fat birds. Anyway, what else am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so this week was pretty crazy, right? Like with all the video and stuff, as I said before. And so people have started like messaging my page like frequently, like one every 20 minutes for like the last 4 days. And you can see when someone messages you what date they like the page. So like how long they've been a fan of your page for. And people message you like, hey bro, long time fan, I've been watching your shit for ages, so great to see it's blowing up. And I'm like, no you haven't, I can see you like my page on November 6th, that was yesterday, you're not fooling anyone. So yeah, you can, to all the people doing that, you can stop because you busted and I can see you. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, it's been really cool. So thank you. Honestly though, like what I really wanted to say was thank you very much for the support from everyone. And also if you're like a new person who's just got onto my shit and you're listening now, welcome. And I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed me. Like your first impression of me is fat shaming a bird. So I hope you stick around for more animal shaming in coming weeks. Actually, that's what I want to talk about. Animal shaming. Well, not really. I want to talk about the opposite. So during the week before this all happened, before all my videos started to go around again, the vegan thing happened. So if you don't know, I was in a video with Lewis Spears, who was recently a guest on the podcast, and it was called Stop World Vegan Day, because World Vegan Day was like November 1st or something, and he made a joke video, and I can't reiterate this enough, a joke video called hashtag Stop World Vegan Day, and the premise was, if you didn't see it, that we as a society need to eat double the amount of meat to cancel out World Vegan Day. And obviously, that's a joke. It was the dumbest thing ever. So we got a vegetarian in the video, and it was like, Anna's a vegetarian. She's going to drink double the amount of milk to cancel out the effects of World Vegan Day. And I ate double the amount of burgers that I'd usually eat. And our friend Khaled, who is actually a strict Muslim, he said, oh, I hate vegans way more than I hate infidels, so I'm gonna try bacon for the first time on World Vegan Day. Now that's obviously a joke. He doesn't actually eat pork, or you know what I mean, he actually is a strict Muslim, so clearly a joke. But vegans lost their shit. Like, they are easily, I didn't realize this before we made the video, they are easily the most triggered group of society. We just thought, oh, it might get like 100 angry emojis, but everyone will clearly get this is a joke. People lost their, like, I don't get how you could watch this video and also have the Australian national anthem playing in the background. And yeah, people just took it seriously and were like, and Lewis got heaps of hate, also got heaps of love. Like, people loved the video overall. It went pretty viral and stuff. But man, it's like some people just took it really seriously. I'm like, this guy's encouraging animal cruelty. And then the reason why I'm talking about it is because I got hate too. Like, I was in the video. It wasn't my video. It was Lewis Spears' video. So go check it out on his page if you haven't seen it. But I was in the video and I was obviously tagged in it. So I got hate from animal activist groups on my Twitter and my Facebook from multiple people, and it was very funny. Here's the thing though, I get why they were really upset. Oh no, not really, because it's a joke. So obviously, if we were actually making a video going Stop World Vegan Day, we're being serious and we're psychos, they should lose their shit. That's fair enough. But it was clearly a joke. That's like, for example, what Jim Jeffries said at his show. He made jokes about the gun control, and he made a lot of misogynistic jokes about women in one of his specials, and he said in interviews, obviously, that's not what I think. It's just a joke. All right, so if you can't joke about an issue, then you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't take anything really a comedian says as this is their opinion. But obviously people did. So I got, what was I going with this? Yeah, I got hate from the animal activist groups, and people sent me like videos of, and vegans are really like full on about this, because they sent me videos of animals being tortured and stuff, like how they're killed and stuff, like horrible shit. I didn't really click on them, but I knew that's what they were sending me. And then some would just send me videos with the animals being killed saying, this is your fault, ? I'm like, yes, that is my fault directly. I'm not standing there with a knife at a cow's throat, mate. Calm down. And I just sent back, I think you forget what bacon tastes like. And they lost their shit. So, but here's the thing, because obviously I was joking back and I was giving them dumb replies and stuff. But I had a couple of vegans contact me who they found the video really funny. They're like, hey, I saw you in that Lewis Spears' video, and I just want to say I'm a vegan and I found it funny. Because they clearly got, hey, this is a joke. These guys probably don't actually hate animals. I mean, I'll fat shame a bird, but I don't want that's about as far as I'll go. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous that people thought that it was for real, because they could have clicked onto his page and it says comedian under the thing. So anyway, that's my take on it. But obviously, like, I just want to say that I agree with vegans. Like, their reasoning behind not eating meat is dead on. Like, the meat industry is terrible for the environment. It's inhumane. I agree, but at the same time, we're the top of the food chain. So, and you know what I mean. For centuries, living things have eaten other living things. So that's, you know what I mean. Like that, it's sad, but that's like the way it is. And yeah, and obviously I don't think animals should be treated inhumanely, but yeah, I mean, to get triggered by a joke video is a bit full on, I think. And some people were like, you can't joke about this. And then those same people like share a 9/11 meme on Facebook, and you're like, well, get a bit consistent, would you? Like, you know, you can't, if you pick and choose what you're gonna laugh at, you suck as a person. Like, I can hear a 9/11 joke at stand-up. I do stand-up comedy, right? And I see horrible jokes all the time performed by different comedians. And they're jokes. Like, I laugh because I'm like, yeah, that's a joke. I know that person doesn't actually, you know what I mean? Like, you can joke about tragedy and joke about horrible things. But at the end of the day, it's a joke and it's not your opinion. And I guess I can't understand why people go, you shouldn't be encouraging that. But yeah, lighten up. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to address this too much longer. I've addressed it for long enough because, again, it wasn't my video. It was Lewis's. And Lewis talked about it on his podcast this week as well. But yeah, I just wanted to address it because I thought that was crazy that because featuring the video, got sent hate as well. I mean, like, do better shit with your life. Like, it's, anyway. So what do I want to talk about next? Oh yeah, last week I got some feedback from the podcast, and thank you to everyone who's been messaging me with questions, feedback and stuff, and about the podcast. And I got some feedback that said that at times last week I was getting distracted, and that people were saying that I went off track at times, and it was annoying when I was talking about one thing and then got distracted and started talking about another thing. Which reminds me, I went to a kid's birthday party on the weekend, right? And there was just kids running around everywhere, and I was just like, man, they should give kids mufflers. Like, they just should, I think they should be installed on every child under 5. You know what I mean? Because, like, they were just screaming and yelling and throwing shit all over the place. I'm like, could use a bit of peace and quiet around here. Like, they've invented silencers for guns, so why can't they just have a crack and strap one onto a kid for once? And, hey, what was I talking about again? Oh, right, that I tend to go off track. You know, that's bullshit. I never do that. Ever. I'd never go off track. So, yeah, what else? Why do people listen to this podcast? Like, you know what's funny? This podcast, it gets worse and worse every week. But, like, the listenership goes up and up every single week. Like, you guys need to do better shit with your lives. Like, this podcast has been in the top 50 on the Australian iTunes charts all week. And I don't know why. Like, if people are like, oh, just give this guy a shot, they'd be so disappointed. God, that's very funny. So, oh yeah. Thank you to everyone also who's been reviewing the podcast on iTunes. Lots of people have been rating it and stuff. That helps massively. So keep doing that. 5 stars. And yeah, that's why it's been in the top 50 and stuff. Because so many of you legends have been checking it out and clearly showing your friends. So that's cool. Also, I need to address. So last week, there was a question. I think it was from Kaz or something. Actually, I should go check this. No, I probably deleted it or something. Yeah, I think it was from Kaz. And it was the question about the Greek yogurt. So someone sent in a question about they were being annoyed by this Asian kid whose breath smelled like Greek yogurt because he bought a liter of Greek yogurt a day or some shit like that. And I just assumed it was a guy. I don't know why I assumed it was a guy, but for some reason I just thought it was a guy sending me the question. And then I got contacted during the week by Kaz, or I think it was Kaz, by the person, and they were like, hey, I'm a girl. And I'm pretty sure I recommended at one point that she should lather her nipples in Greek yogurt. So, assuming it was a guy, I was like, hey man, yeah, you should definitely lather your nipples and try and freak him out. Don't do that, Kaz. Don't do that at all. That was bad advice in hindsight when I look back on some of the stuff I said. So I just wanted to clear that up this week, that said some horrible shit, but I thought it was a dude. Cool. I just wanted to address that, and I'm sorry, Kaz, for getting the gender wrong of you. I don't know why. I just assumed I'm just a dick. I think it came off as very like bantery. Like I was laughing as I was reading the email, and usually, as I've talked about before, it's the guys who try and be really funny in the emails every week. Like the guys will like send in dumb shit. Like for example, I got a question this week. Like I don't know if I'll answer it, but I'll bring it up now. Let's just answer it. Like on a scale from a ruler to the curvature of my penis, how straight are you? Like really? That's the level. Like that's why I thought it was a dude. I think because I'm used to guys sending in dumb ass shit. And that was a pretty dumb question. It was pretty funny. So thank you, Kaz, and I'm sorry for thinking you're a dude. But yeah, to answer the question, on a scale from a ruler to the curvature of my penis, how straight are you? Well, A, I don't know the curvature of your penis, and B, I don't know if he means how straight is my dick, like a ruler or a curvature, or how or am I heterosexual? So that's a confusing question, and yeah, I'm just gonna let it. Sometimes just gotta let it go to the keeper. So that one's gone through, and it's missed the wickets wide. So I'll just keep going. Yeah, I reckon it's time for some questions because I got sent in a lot. So what happened was I got like a lot of new like Snapchat followers after like my Snapchat got posted on Lad Bible. So which is like that is a lot of reach. Like the video got like over 8.5 million views. It's almost at 9 million now, I think, on Lad Bible. And my Snapchat was at the end of the thing. So now I have a lot more followers than I did have on Snapchat. And I kind of forgot, and I usually just go if I don't have many questions for the day before. I'm like, hey, you guys just send in some questions for the podcast tomorrow. That'd be cool. And like I get like 4 questions, and I said on my Snap story, hey, could you guys send in questions? And I got like 100. So I'm gonna just answer lots, but I'm also not gonna answer all of them. I'm sorry because again, most of them were of the standard of that last dude's question. So here's one. Let's start off. How did you... This one's from the Tominator. Very funny, Tom. Excellent wordplay. Love it. How did you really get a start in the business of stand-up? Ooh, he wants how I really got in. He doesn't want the fake version. He wants the real deal. How did I get started? I think I briefly told this story on Lewis's episode, but I'll tell the full version. So essentially, I think it goes back to high school when like I wasn't at all... I never considered doing stand-up, and then I was just being like, I was a bit of a class clown, I think. Like, I tried to be funny. I wasn't really trying to be funny. I think I was just trying to impress people because it was what I was good at. So I just used to screw around, and we used to make dumb videos, me and my mates just jumping into bushes and shit at lunchtime, and that was pretty funny. So I realized I'd been doing like comedy for ages, and I was always a massive fan of like Hamish and Andy. They're still like my idols, and you know, from primary school I was a massive fan of Hamish and Andy. Like I loved comedy films, and I used to watch the gala, the Melbourne Comedy Festival gala every year on TV, but I'd never really considered it at all. And then all of a sudden, I think my year 12 English teacher from memory said as a joke once, you should do stand-up comedy. And then I just like laughed about it. And then I went to my first ever comedy show. So I'd never even attended a comedy show before April 2015 was my first ever time I'd been to a comedy show, and it was Nick Cody. And he's a comedian from Melbourne, and he's recently been on Conan. Like at the time though, he was just doing 150 seater, and now he's on like Conan and he's smashing it overseas and stuff. And yeah, I went and saw his show, and it blew my mind. Like I just was sitting there watching, and I'm like, this guy gets paid to talk for an hour. I could talk. And then 3 months later, I started doing stand-up and realized it was a lot harder than just talking for an hour. So, yeah, but there was a pretty quick turnaround. Like, 3 months later, I was on stage doing it myself, and I was just addicted straight away. Like, from the first gig, it went fine the first gig. It was the third one that went bad. But I got up there and people, like, laughed at something I said, and I was like... It's not, you don't do it for the laugh, I think. You don't do it for like the recognition, whatever. Like you do it because I think it's addictive. Like you think of something funny and you're really proud of it, and you can just say it to an audience and you get instant feedback on it. That's the best thing about stand-up as opposed to online stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I got into stand-up, man. I saw a show, and then on the way home, I said to my girlfriend, because we saw the show together, I was like, hey, I'm going to do stand-up comedy. Like, that's what that was the night I decided what I wanted to do with my life, and I've never looked back ever since. And it's pretty crazy. Like, I think I was like, oh, I'm going to give stand-up comedy a go. And she was like, oh, cool, that could be like a fun thing Luke does for a year. But like in my mind, I was like, no, this is like what I want to do for life now. And yeah, and now really, hopefully my dreams are coming a little bit true, because I've done it's going pretty well so far, but plenty of more hard work to come. Next question. I got a few about my stand-up, so I'll answer a couple in a row about my stand-up quickly. This one is, hey Luke, not sure if this can be counted for a question for the podcast, but are you planning to come to Sydney next year? Good luck with comedy anyways, mate. Thank you. And yes, I'm definitely planning to come to Sydney next year. The plan so far is to take my show to Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. And message me, like, if you want me to take my show to a smaller town and enough people message me, of course I'll go there. But yeah, so that's the plan, is to go to the big cities at the moment, and if I think I can sell tickets in other places, because that's pretty much how it's done, I'll definitely come to other places. And also, I'll be doing the Melbourne Comedy Festival as well. So, yes, I'm definitely planning to come to Sydney next year. It would be awesome if you came out, man. So what I did, I screenshotted all the questions, right? And I'm just flicking through my phone. And one bloke's just gone, talk about Jesus. I don't know if you've listened to this podcast, man, but that's not what this is. What's another one here? What got you into doing stand-up/skits? I just answered that one, so thank you, Kyle. It was a similar question to the other one. I'll actually answer what got me into doing online stuff. So I think I started online stuff just before I was doing stand-up, but I didn't start it seriously until I started doing stand-up. So I was doing videos just for my friends, kind of like it wasn't under my name. The videos, if you go back to the bottom of my page, some of the videos are under the name Bears and Things instead of Luke Kidgell, because I didn't know if that's what I wanted to do with my life yet. So I didn't want to use my name. So yeah, I was just making dumb videos for my friends, and then I started doing stand-up, and then I started taking videos more seriously after that. So that's pretty much how I got into doing skits. And again, was doing them in high school and shit anyway. And someone else asked me a question, actually, what do I prefer more, stand-up or doing videos? And the answer to that would have to be stand-up. Like, stand-up's just absolutely the most fun thing in the world. And the only reason for that is what I said before, that instant feedback, where you can think of something that day, then tell a joke and you see the people laughing. Whereas videos, you like film the video, edit it and stuff, and then you get likes and comments, which is awesome, but like there's nothing like actually performing live and seeing the jokes make people happy. That's definitely the most satisfying part of it. So definitely stand up over videos. And also, I feel like that my stand up is definitely my best work, like over my online stuff. That's just what I think. I think I'm a lot funnier on stage than I am online. But that's just because I think I enjoy it more, and I put more of a priority, I guess, on making the best stand-up show possible for the festival. So that's my goal, is to make my best material, my live material. But obviously, the majority of people just see your online content. So yeah, I'm glad people enjoy that stuff as well. And obviously, I still love making the online stuff, or else I wouldn't do it. So yeah, I really enjoy both. But stand-up is my favorite, and what I personally think is my best work. All right, the next question is from Ashley, and Ashley says, what is your biggest fear? Ooh, good one. See, as a white Australian, I'd have to say Muslims, straight off the bat. No, that's obviously a joke. It's definitely vegans. Actually, no, I'm not scared at all of vegans, because I feel like they'd be really malnourished, and even if they tried to attack me, they just wouldn't have enough protein to like raise their wrist, and it would just flop down. But to answer your question, actually, my biggest fear used to be heights. That used to be a thing. So what happened was I was 10, and me and my family we went to Dreamworld in Queensland, and I'm gonna not make a horrible joke here. I promise I'm gonna get through this without being a terrible person. And I went on the giant drop first, and I got down afterwards. And so if you don't know what the giant drop is, it's like one of those. It's just a big, tall pole. It's like maybe 120 meters tall. And then you sit at the top, and then you don't know when it's going to drop. And then the ride is you just free fall down to the bottom. Now, I went on it once, and I didn't like it. But then I really like this ride called the Wipeout. And my family hated that ride, so I made a deal. If they went on the Wipeout with me again, I would go on the giant drop with them. And I went on the giant drop again, and I flipped my shit up the top. So you wait at the top for like 30 seconds, and your legs and arms are hanging out. And I just freaked out and threw a tantrum. That's all I remember. And I cried, and it was pretty embarrassing, really, because I was 10. And then, yeah, and ever since then, I thought I was scared of heights for like 5 years. And then now I've realized that, like, I've done a few more things around heights, and I just look over the edge, and I'm just like not phased at all. Because like I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of dying from a fall. Like I think that's the scary part. I'm not actually scared of looking down. Like if I know I can't die, which is like now looking back at the giant drop, I will go on it again because I know I can't. Oh, actually. This is why I didn't want to make a horrible joke about Dreamworld. But anyway, I knew I'd do it. I didn't even mean that. But yeah, like... So you probably not, well, statistics show that you're probably, not definitely, probably not going to die at Dreamworld. So I wouldn't be scared if I went on again. Actually, this is what I was talking about. Like, obviously, I don't want to make jokes about that thing. It's a week old now. It's done. But what I was thinking the other day about Dreamworld is that people are going to be like, I'm not going to Dreamworld now. I'm not going back after what's happened. I'm not going back there. Man, going back there now, if they do reopen, they might close forever. But if they do reopen, it'd be the safest time ever to be going on rides at Dreamworld. They'll do the most thorough and insane safety checks on all the rides. It's ridiculous. To get it even open again, they'll have to do everything they can to ensure nothing will ever happen again. Man, if you go back to Dreamworld, you're fine now for like the next 100 years because they're gonna be on top of that shit. Anyway. So yeah, my biggest fear, honestly, like it used to be heights. I really don't have like an actual fear. Like I don't have a phobia or anything. I guess like I'm scared of I'm scared of drowning. I guess that freaks me out. Like watching documentaries where someone almost drowns freaks me out. Yeah, just not being able to breathe, I guess, freaks me out. But that's really general stuff. I think everyone's just like not up for dying like that. So. Yeah, I sound like I'm trying to be like real hard and manly. I'm not. That's the opposite of me. I'm not really scared. I'm pretty chill dude. I'm just not really fazed by much. I think I was scared of the dark a bit when I was a kid. I mean, just if I'd watch like a scary movie, like the hyenas in Lion King. Poor man, slept with the light on for like a week. And obviously that's standard. I still, as soon as I think about it, like tonight, I've thought about the hyenas again from Lion King. I'm going to sleep with the light on tonight. I'm fucked. I'm going to answer a longer question now. So those are some of the short ones on Snapchat. And thank you so much, guys, for sending these questions. It's and all the feedback I've been getting this week. It's pretty cool. I'm just stalling right now while I'm trying to get up another question. I got like far too many messages that I haven't had time to sort yet. Oh, people send you the dumbest shit. Like some girls would just be like, "I love you." And like that's all they'll say. I'm like, what do you don't know me, okay? You love the idea of me. What do you want me to say to that? I don't get what. Like I reply to everyone who's like, hey, I've been checking out the videos and I really like them. That's amazing. And I'm like really thankful and appreciative to those people. But some people just like send me like hi. Like just that word hi. And I'm like, we're not mates. Like what? I don't know what you want me to say to that. Anyway, this is all just very new to me, this whole people giving a shit about you. So, okay, I've got a question up now. I've stalled for long enough. This person wanted me to keep them anonymous, and he said, call me Kevin Sheedy. So, I will do. He said, so high school finishes in 2 weeks, and my girlfriend of 3 years and I are both looking to go to uni. I want to go to Melbourne. She wants to go to Sydney. Obviously that's going to suck a bit. The courses I want to do are pretty basic, and I have had my heart set on Melbourne for a while. Her courses are exclusive to Sydney, and her mind is already made up. I don't know what to do. I have said I would go to Sydney so I could be with her, but she says it's pointless to throw away any big plans just to change cities. Not sure what to do. Any advice would be neat. Cheers, legend. Keep it up. Thank you very much, man. Okay, this is heavy. See, here's the thing. I usually get like trivial shit sent into my podcast, and I'm starting to get like people's problems, which is good, and it's awesome that you guys think that I could give good advice on these things. But I'll give it a go, man. So you've been going out with this girl for 3 years. That's crazy. Yeah, me and my girlfriend. It's our 3-year anniversary next week, I think. Yep, that's correct. I'm gonna get in trouble now. But yeah, so 3 years is a long time, and so I feel that. That would suck if you had to go to different cities, man. I messaged Kevin back, and he said that, yeah, his girlfriend was doing a physiology course, and the only one was in Sydney, which is fair enough. So, I mean, I don't want to say, like, break up with your girlfriend, because, I mean, you obviously love her, and you've been going out for 3 years, but, wow, this is heavy. I mean, Sydney and Melbourne, it's not that far away. Like, it's an hour flight. I mean, you could drive up sometimes. It's like 8-hour drive. I mean, that's a long way. But it's not ridiculous. It's not like she's going overseas. I mean, if she's studying overseas, you might have to call it quits, or maybe do it like a, you know, if you're single when you get back and I'm single, let's meet up or whatever. Like, but yeah, that sucks. Sydney and Melbourne, though, it's not that bad. You're not in different countries. You're just in different states on the same time zone, so you can still message each other and stuff. But I feel like, I mean, if she's going up for like 6 months at a time to just study, you could make it work maybe for a couple of years. And if you go up, if you see each other every 3 months or so, and if she comes back down for Christmas and stuff, but if she's going to be permanently located in Sydney, then that might be more of a difficult situation for you. So I'd say, yeah, ask her what her plans are, if she plans to stay in Sydney full-time, or if she's just studying there and then going to come back to where you live anyway. Yeah, sorry, man, that sucks. Yeah, my advice would just be work out if you guys think long distance would be a good thing for the relationship or a bad thing. Because if you think it could work, then definitely give it a go. But if you don't think it will work, then it really sucks. But it might be time to just wish each other the best. But yeah, obviously that sucks. So I wish you all the best with it, man. And look, if you can come up with a compromise without doing long distance, and you move to Sydney or she moves to Melbourne, that's great. But if not, yeah, long distance would be the way to go. That's the best I can answer that question. Now I think we should end with a trivial one. Not a trivial one. Actually, I had a good one about year 12 and exams, and that's very relevant right now. And I did the exam video during the week, which, by the way, just completely probably distracted people from studying and offered absolutely no help to people studying. So now I'll make up for it and answer one about exams. All right, I've got it up now. It is from Josh, and he said, this is more of a serious one, but what subjects in high school do you think actually mattered now that you've graduated and all that? Like, a lot of the time I hear people going on about, oh, when are we going to use this at school? And just wondering which of it actually is used. This is a really good question, and it's probably relevant to a lot of you listening right now. And the answer is none of it. None of it's relevant. Here's the thing. Okay, if you're going to be a lawyer or work in law or business, legal studies is a great base knowledge to have. Like, if you're going to be an accountant and you did accounting, again, that's going to be a great base knowledge before you go study it in further studies at uni. But if you're like me and just going to do something completely different, like none of it. Like, none of high school applied to me personally. Like, I just learnt, like, I got more out of jumping into bushes than I did in class. Like, recess was where I really grew as a comedian. Like, in class, I just used to work on my banter. Like, that's what I did in high school. But, yeah, like, and you make a good point about, like, oh, when are we ever going to use this in high school? That's so true. When you're reading an exam question and you're like, when will this ever apply to me? Like, it's like, oh, Jim has a truck full of 130 watermelons. The volume of the truck is like 14 meters cubed. Each watermelon has a volume of 200 centimeters cubed. How much free space is left in the truck? And you're sitting there like, when will this actually happen? And then a year later, sure enough, you'll be sitting at a traffic light and some bloke will wind down his window and give you a honk and go, "Oi mate, my name's Jim. I've got a truck back there with a volume of 14 meters cubed, and I got..." How many watermelons did I say? I got a bunch of watermelons in the back, and I just want to know if you could work out the free space. And you're like, shit, I should have listened in class. So, yeah, man, if that ever happens, you're screwed. So, make sure you pay attention to every unique situation because, man, you never know when that's going to come back and bite you in the ass later in life. The most generic question I've ever seen is, you get it all the time, is the goat on a rope and he walks around in a circle eating the grass. Not once have I ever seen a goat on a rope eating all the grass in an exact circle. Walking around the circumference and just going, oh, yep, the length of my rope definitely determines the amount of grass I'm going to eat. No, goats aren't, it's just depicting goats as dumb. Dumber than they are, that question. Goats will just naturally go to the freshest, the freshest, greenest grass. That's the grass they'd eat in the circle. So, dumb question, and yeah, that one will never ever apply to you. So if you get that one on your exam, just ignore it and write on it, hashtag bullshit. You'll fail, so don't do that. But yeah, to answer the question, yeah, really, if you're doing if you want to be a musician and you do music in high school, then yes, you'll get something out of music, but you probably won't get anything out of English, maths, history, whatever else you do. Like, if you're going to be a historian, then yes, history will probably be great for you. But unless you're going to study the specific things that you study in high school, you're not going to get anything out of it. Like me. For me personally, the education system is flawed because it teaches you a few basic skills in really niche area. I just know a weird amount of shit about the French Revolution that I'll never have to know again. But at the same time, I learn a lot of really good stuff in legal studies about copyright and stuff, which does apply to me now. So there's definitely obviously bits and pieces from high school that will keep applying to you in your real life. Like basic maths, you use it really every day. But yeah, you wanted to know that which of the stuff you learn at school will actually be used. So, yeah, it all depends on what you're going to do, man. Like, you'll take bits and pieces, but there's no way all of the shit, like that language, and English is probably the biggest bullshit subject out of the lot. And I'm not saying, English up to year 10 is great because you'll learn how to read and write, and that's important. But English in VCE, analyzing an article and learning stuff about emotive language and repetition is you're never reading the newspaper and you're like, oh my god, geez, I can see a good generalization here. That, you never do that. I haven't thought about that shit since year 12. Yeah, to answer your question, it all depends on what you do with your life. I think we've gone to it's 36 minutes. Holy shit. I need to wrap it up. Before I end, I really want to say a sincere thank you to every single person who's jumped on board my page and liked my videos and stuff over on YouTube and Facebook this week. The support has been phenomenal, and I'm incredibly, incredibly humbled by it. I was joking before about what I said about the people who messaged me. It's actually really nice, and I appreciate it. It has been a really cool week for me. The videos have gone well. I did 2 gigs, smashed them both. I'm really, really happy. I got this new joke that I'm really happy with. It's killing, and I can make it even better, so that's exciting. And yeah, to all the people messaging me to my page about stand-up, if you have a personal question that you don't want the podcast and stuff, I'm happy to answer it for you on my page or whatever. Yeah, lots of people have been asking me about stand-up and stuff. So, yeah, I'm planning, I said it before, but I'm planning on touring the country next year. And to all the people from the UK, it's definitely a goal of mine to come over there and do some shows, but it probably not on the horizon because I've been getting a lot of that. But actually, because there's been a lot of you, might be sooner than we think. But thank you very much for everyone who's been checking out. And yeah, thanks for listening. And have a ripping week.